We're about to start now.
Julie said don't wait for her. She'll be in the middle, finish it. Yeah.
Okay, I think it's time. So let's get it started. Let's welcome to today's speaker, Olga Figueroa. She is director of Arecibo Observatory, where she serves as the first female director of the facility. She has a PhD in education focused in tourism from University of Almeria in Spain. And her interests are based in development of projects that connect science education to the community. And today she'll talk about space tourism.
Yeah.
Please, time is yours.
Thank
Thank
you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, and thanks for being here today with me. It's my first time here at FSI. I came yesterday from Puerto Rico, and I'm so excited to see my former team here. I'm so grateful for the FSI team to bring my team here, and they have a new home. So thank you. This topic probably is not usual for you, but it's related to space, so it might be. So before we start, I'm really into the space tourism aspect. Let's just bring into perspective what.
That's not changing.
Oh, it's not
I
changing.
think it's lagging. Can you
Should I reshare? Stop and reshare?
sometimes it lags.
Oh, I like her graphic.
Maybe I think let's do a read.
Yeah, I love your graphic.
Yeah, I think
It's so
can you stop and reshare, please?
Sure.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Sorry, there has been a lagging in slide sharing, so we're restarting.
These will all work seamlessly in the first round. It's a lot for that to be independent. It's a South Park episode where like probably goes 500 years in the future and finds that people are so pro that it's so maybe that's more what it is. But now it'll work. Now we can get ahead. So unification. Now it should be all good for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Connor. Okay.
No,
Yeah,
okay,
It's
thank
still
you.
lagged a couple seconds. Yeah.
It's okay. So, what's tourism, right? Something simple, but sometimes we really don't know what's the definition of it. We as humans, right, we look for something. So tourism is really simple. It's social, cultural, and economic phenomenon, which we as humans move to a place to another for what purposes? Recreational, right? Usually outside of our own environment. Like, for example, me, I traveled from Puerto Rico to Florida, but it was just work related, but maybe I can do some tourism afterwards, right? So the important part of tourism is not only we as humans are part of it. It's what tourism is the #1 economic development sector of any country or any place or region, okay? So the key part of tourism is what? The tourist, we as humans. Humans look for an experience, right? But before that experience, we need to cover our needs. What are they? First of all, everything starts with our senses. Our perception, our emotions, and our memory. And that brings are smell, audition, touch, and vision, especially those. Then, we need to provide or have offerings to that tourist, what the tourist is looking for to cover what? Their senses. And then we need to cover the basic needs. That's physical, social. And for that, we need to have products and services for each human. Probably my needs are not the same as Julie's, right? The experience I'm looking for is not the same she's looking. Or actually, it's the need. Okay, each of us have different needs. And the tourist looks for that, to fulfill that need. Covering what? Senses, offering basic needs, and at the end, the experience. It will be wonderful. If not, it won't work. Okay? Then the tourists won't be happy at all. And then they won't go back to the place and they can say, oh, Puerto Rico was awful. Or Orlando.
The moon.
The moon. The space. Right? Okay, now you're ready to go into the presentation. So the contents are, we're going to look a little bit of the history of space tourism, the new experience for humans, innovative business development, major tool for research, that probably is going to be your coolest part of the presentation, and then we'll go for a Q&A. But the Q&A, it's from me to you.
So when do we ask our question?
At the end.
Okay.
Or during the presentation, it will be more fun. Okay, the history. So we might believe that this is just something new, space tourism, but actually started in the 1990s, 20 years of the making, right? Everything started with Tito Dennis, right? He wanted to go to explore the space. He was a millionaire, an American millionaire in New York, living in New York. And you know what happened? Probably this might be a similar case for us at Arecibo, if Arecibo was a private institution. So Russia had a problem with this company that needed funding. And they say, hey, let's sell the first travel to space. And they did. They contact this American company. They sell the first travel to space to Tito for $20 million. Right? That's a great opportunity. And this is something that it can happen to us at FSI.
Can we get the 20 million?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
As a team, we can do that. Okay? Then everything started changing 2002, 2005. At 2002 was the first orbital space tourism. Then 2005, 2006, 7, 9. Well, this guy traveled twice, in 2007 with 2 astronauts, and then he went by himself, you know, with the team in 2009. And then, 2021 is this one, with the SpaceX at the Earth orbital. Like, okay. So, and guess what? All those are American millionaires and billionaires. All those travel to space. So this brings a new experience for humans. You know? Okay. Yes. Yeah.
So how much is it now? Oh, okay.
You'll see. It's really cheap.
Compared to the 20 million?
Yes. Well, it costs, like for example, this one, 20 million back in the 90s. Now the first one is 55 with SpaceX, but with Blue Origin, you can go from 2,200 to 250K. So we can do that.
Oh, yeah.
Go next summer. Yeah.
That-
So,
That was the price I lost, so the 200, 250. I decided I will buy a house.
Ah,
That's
oh,
why.
you should rather stay on Earth. Me too. So regarding studies, different research studies regarding tourism. Yes, Sean?
Point four, which category would this be on the travel request forms? Asking for a credit.
Do that. Yes.
So actually, now you can fly
Yeah.
your researcher with the experiment
Yes.
on Blue Origin.
We are going to see that now.
So
After
you,
this.
you can apply to that, but
They are
strong reason to
thinking-
fly with it.
Yeah.
It
They-
explode.
It did not explode.
Well, right now, they believe it's really safe to go to space.
Well, compared to driving in Orlando.
Yes. I'm for real.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right? So it's safety, reliable. And it will be available for the general public soon. Okay, so this is something that it took 20 years in the making, but probably soon the ones interested on, travel to space will be able to do it. Less of this amount, it will go lower soon.
One order of magnitude, and then another one.
Then another one, right? So, why the costs are going to be reducing? Because they are going to start using reusable launch technology. So the costs are going to be decreasing. Okay? They say that travel to space can be done easily. Okay, especially from here, Florida. And it can provide a revenue stream to support development of life beyond Mars, beyond Earth. Is the example of Mars, right? With Elon Musk, right? Everything with him happened because he's just concerned about Earth and the future generations, and he just wants to find a new home for humans. Okay.
I think he's mainly concerned about himself. He wants to find a place where his ego will fit, but he's just more or less helping humanity.
Yeah, but to be able to accomplish that, you have to bring community together. Because if you don't do that, you're not going to be successful. So that's why he's selling it that way. Okay, so the offerings, remember the first slide when I show you, we have to have offerings for the tourists. So then we used to have orbital. Now we have suborbital trip to the edge of space. Okay, so now the new offerings for the tourists are developing. Okay, soon probably you can go beyond the orbital or suborbital. Soon probably you can go to Mars or any other, maybe an exoplanet.
But so. The moon, the trip to the moon is already with SpaceX for at least 2 trips around the moon. It's like 4 days.
Yes.
I think it was like, I'm not gonna say the price, but it was quite a few millions.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's pretty good.
Yes.
To Mars?
Mm-hmm.
To an exoplanet.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Virgin Galactic
Yeah.
flight just flew again, and those were started at $450,000. Now they're at $150,000, and their ideal price is gonna be like 125.
And
Which
Bezos.
is at first, when you're talking about ultra high net worth individuals that are the primary customers for the beginning phase.
Yes.
But definitely something in NASA would pay for a scientific investigation,
Yes.
Raise my titles.
Probably that will consume as the marketing.
Right.
The
option.
light years program.
Like, here's.
Okay, probably, they are saying that it will be a routine to go to space. It's going to be reliable and accessible. Okay. So these are the key players. So if you want to book your next trip or your next vacation to space, these are the key, players. Space Perspective is number 1, Virgin Galactic, Axiom Space, Boeing, Vigilors Aerospace is SpaceX. Everybody, this is like the most famous, right? Space Adventures and Blue Origin. This is Jeff Bezos. Yeah, those are the ones. So when you see this, do you feel the same when you see a cruise line? Right? Oh, which cruise line I'm going to pick? So soon you're going to see it. It's right around the corner. So innovative business development. So here. These also, when I was just doing the research to be able to present this to you, the very key and important part was the government agency. Because why? We've been through so much with Arecibo and NSF, right? But for example, if we go through the government to be able to do something like this, they move very cautiously, right? They take a long time to make decisions because they are always thinking about adverse and failures, right? Why? Because they depend on us, the taxpayers. It's taxpayers' money. So they have to be very careful, okay? The companies. So they can take risks because they are a private funding institution. They can take it until they get things right. They are able to speed up the development, right? Because they have the power, the money, they can hire more people, they can start all over again. They have systems that can rapidly improve the processes, and they seek improvement rate every day per minute. Okay? They are profitable and sustainable. The risk, spaceflight remains a risky and expensive endeavor, and it's uncertain of the future impact on, not actually on transport, but on climate. And that's something they are discussing now. They are really uncertain of what these flights or to space are going to be causing to the space or climate and environment. Okay, so they need to really study this carefully before going through what we're going now with climate change, right? It was something that they started telling us and we didn't pay attention to it. And now we are, living proof of that. So, innovative business development. Space tourism as innovation driver for all things related to space. So thanks to this, a lot of entrepreneurs will start, developing new projects, new tools. And the better we become at space, the more an industry base arises to support space technology. And this is really good for FSI and US team, right? We can develop new technology. It could come from here and we can be part of this. Okay, think about it. Think about.
I mean, it's already happening, right?
We have some instruments that are likable to go to the moon.
Space.
Let's see.
You see?
Saga's gonna make roads on the moon. Yes.
Landing pad, that's the very first thing that we need
Yes.
to land the rocket, reusable landing pads.
Mhm.
That's the focus.
We
Mines,
are not far from it. You see?
roads.
Roads. Awesome. I included here this picture that it was very inspiring. You see a team come together to be able to see their project live on launch, right? And it was really successful. And that is really important because of diversity and community. Communities being able to do this.
These were paying tourists though?
Oh, no, that's the Blue Origin team.
Oh, I see. I see.
They were really successful on their launch in December. So major tool for research. I really like this quote. It's from a scientist, Ariel Eckwell. The proliferation of these commercial launch providers does allow us to do riskier, faster, and more innovative projects. Why? Because private space flights can send to space scientific experiments, and soon they are willing to take the scientists with them on those space flights, Sean. So you can do the shape modeling from space.
Yeah, but I can do it from the ground too, so it's hard to tell that.
Well, that's
Come up with
for-
But actually closer.
No, you better feel there. With the sky.
You're looking for
Flaviani will be the first one from FSI. Well, you can join.
Nobody will be the first.
So it will take a long time to work within government, grant channels, get approval, get funding, get picked, right? With this, private tourism, space tourism as a major tool, you can do it finding just private funding. It will be a short time to sign a contract to send a research project on a private mission. Private funding can pay for your trip. And as I said before, they are willing to take scientists with the experiment. What do you think?
Let's go.
Let's go. Okay, let's recap. So we saw the definition of tourism, right? We went a little bit through the history, the new experience for humans, innovative business development. That's, it's going to be a lot of business development, innovative development, engineering, softwares, as a tool for major research. And now I have the questions for you. Can the space tourism industry bring humanity benefits to? What do you think?
Yes,
Yes?
Yes.
Why?
also can place equipment in those spaceships or whatever. Actually, just to add something, I think it was 2012 or 13, I was invited for a meeting in DC to talk it because I was working with the division. That's the worst part of the ionosphere to be proved because of the electron days and this kind of stuff. And in this meeting, they have invited the Virgin Galactic 2 people. They were starting by that time. And one of the ideas of these people was not only the trip to the space, but like a package. So they should leave from New Mexico, do whatever they used to do there, start to do there, and then landing in Puerto Rico for 1 week of golf. That's true. That's why we started a hotel. Then they were, that was the idea of them in the very beginning. But we invited them to know how to add them kind of the people to place in those.
Yeah, soon you're going to see it. You're going to see those packages out there and you can find them at Expedia, booking.com. Right?
So Olga,
Yes.
yeah, I have some more about this. So, they have been interviewing people who went on these, like the rich people, right?
Yeah.
But each one of them said this is a life-changing experience because they see, the fragile nature of the atmosphere and they see the no frontiers, So from a humane education point of view, this could be very impactful for society if people could just go see it from above.
Absolutely.
In that sense, for climate change,
Mhm.
how do you say, well, some people think the earth is flat, so you can
Yes.
just, I don't think it's flat. Go on a rocket, but from an so it's an experience, but I think it's also an educative like that.
Educational. It is an
Educational, yeah.
educational experience.
Okay, Mildred, do you have questions?
So I actually have a comment. So I would say that one of the biggest benefit I see to space tourism is the fact that going out into space requires us to be as efficient as possible, generating technology that can be recycled. I don't know if that makes sense. Like our resources are so limited and it's so expensive to take things up there that it helps us create these new processes or new technology that is just more efficient, and that efficiency can then be applied to the way we live here on Earth. And perhaps right now the goal is to be more efficient going into space, but who knows, in the future maybe that same technology can help us, mitigate the climate crisis that we're encountering here on Earth.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Mildred. That's why that's a key component of the business development side of the house of space tourism. Thank you. Any other feedback? No? Number 2, is this just a joyride for the global super rich?
Maybe for now.
Yes, yeah.
Well,
Sean? Oh, go ahead.
well, we create infrastructure before, before just because there's not much infrastructure right now on space, it's obviously gonna be extremely expensive to do anything. But as it gets a lot more popular and a lot more, it evolves a lot more, and then eventually it's just gonna get I don't know, $2,000. There you go.
Same thing happened with the airplanes. Remember at the beginning, it was just for the rich and everybody used to wear suits to go on the plane. And now it's just comfy clothing.
But
So,
in that sense, you'll have people working, let's say, on the moon, so they won't be, ultimately, they won't be super rich, they'll be maybe a job,
yes.
yeah.
Do we have to pay taxes if we're working on the moon?
Yeah, I really don't know,
Question, That's
if
a good question.
difficult to find people or not, to go work in mines on the moon,
Mhm.
like maybe they'll just do like Australia, they'll send, the criminals.
There
It
have been
turned
books
out
about
well.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Moon is abortionist. I wanna have to this, I'm gonna have to get my moon visa.
Yes. Will this worsen the planet's climate crisis? Yeah.
Depends how many people we send,
Well,
you know.
depends on what,
Depends on how we do.
yeah, cause what the liquid oxygen, liquid hydrogen's byproduct is typically just water, so it's just the manufacturing of the metals needed to build the spacecraft that actually costs, climate dollars, so it just depends on, as I said, just how we do it.
Sean?
Yeah, and there aren't that many people actually doing this, so it's still gonna be like a tiny fraction compared to like air travel or something.
Yeah.
One way to make that, has a much larger, more cars for them.
We're starting constellation. That have more
Cows.
Cows,
I mean.
goats.
Yeah.
Okay, will it help your research? Sean?
Okay, well, I'll explain this. To me, the technology development argument sort of reminds me of like GPUs for computers. The people driving that, and the ones paying for most of it, are people who want really fancy computers for a game. But it turns out those GPUs are also useful for a whole lot of scientific research problems. So we end up reaping a lot of the benefit of that, even though other people are paying for it and driving most of the development.
I think one of the most important things would be, I guess this also concerns on question 3, is that the more technology we have for space tourism, essentially also means that it's the technology we're getting is also better for space exploration. And in the end, for in solar system, human exploration has a lot of potential for asteroid mining. And I guess it will, in a way, help the climate, because we're not going to be mining the planet as much as we would asteroids, because there's just not that much potential on a single planet.
But the other thing with helping research is it's as long as everybody's willing to cooperate, because when you start dealing with private companies, sometimes they like to just keep everything to themselves, you know, they might let you use their tools, but don't you dare to even like open them up because it's theirs and they don't want that. You know, so it will help research so long as everybody's willing to work together to do these goals, because we understand that it's bigger than just any of us.
Yes, that's what partnerships are for, right?
It's usually military that the best technology goes.
Sean, you had something?
Just, and we'll call the climate argument, the hope is that this will help develop new technologies that help us mitigate that, so that we're making much less carbon in the long term.
Well, but, do a space to, I'm sorry, to a flight to space will help your research or not?
Not my personal research right now, but other
Mine.
people in this building.
To the aggregate charge.
On this floor. On this house floor.
Okay. So, the last one, what 5 articles will you take with you for space travel?
What do you mean by articles?
Like a toothbrush
Items.
item?
Oh,
Wait, a toothbrush?
Yeah, you gotta
I don't
brush your
know.
teeth.
Like if you go on
How do you do
travel,
it
I
though?
can't remember.
Dry?
I don't know, some, I mean, they make the
Mouth-
dry toothbrushes that, you know, like
Alright,
the
alright.
porcelain ones.
Close.
No, I think clothes is included.
Yeah, that part.
a month.
Oh.
Oh. Okay.
I could go.
Definitely finding some respect.
A coffee. A picture. Family member.
I
My
could go.
dog.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
Your cat? Space kitty. Lori Space Kitty.
I think it depends on what already is provided. You need to
Like,
bring the essentials
Just
or you
think
need to-
about if you're just going on travel, like a regular travel, because this will be a regular travel.
But some hotels offer more, some don't.
You're going to ISS, for example.
Oh, my goodness.
What's that?
Yeah, it's not-
That's a good
You're
one.
in the DoubleTree, they offer water and a warm cookie.
But also soap and shampoo, the shower, you know.
But
Towel.
Probably I'm
Towels.
allergic to that shampoo or soap.
Especially
And
underwear.
you're gonna get space shampoo anyway, so.
So listen, the space tourism industry is expected to grow with offerings such as suborbital, orbital flights
Correct.
to lunar excursions and trips to Mars and beyond. Space tourism will be operating as a full industry, capable of truly opening the frontier of space. Okay. So enjoy space and its infinite opportunities. Thank you.
What do you think would be a timeline for you in what you know now about the space tourism?
Probably less than 10 years.
For how many like flights per year?
Probably at least two.
Two?
That's a,
Or more than that, we're already
Yeah,
doing
at
more than
least,
two.
yeah.
that's a.
Yeah, because there's 5 planes under development.
We're already doing more than two.
We are
now.
doing more.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
exponential.
Well, but like in 10 years, absolutely, it was going to be like 20 or more. It's going to be a regular tourism industry.
I know, that's why we're getting a space.
Yeah, it's about the man.
You have to get prepared.
What?
We should know the weather, so we should try to predict space weather as accurately as possible.
Yes.
So Olga, UCF has a big,
Yeah.
college for hospitality, the Rosen College for Hospitality.
So they should start working on that.
You should look them up.
Exactly.
Space football. People talking about.
Baseball, baseball player, but then I
Yeah, but
really
that
for
should come
travel.
from FSI.
Well, yeah, but you know,
Mhm.
they may already have, I don't know, I'm not 100% sure, they may already have like at least one class about this. Yeah.
Hotels are coming soon, space hotels. It's something big, and it's right here. It won't be 20 years from now.
And it's possible, yeah.
Because I was looking into,
Yeah.
you know, that conversation that we had, I did find law,
Yeah.
management,
Maybe I'm
business
confusing,
and
yeah.
They
human
don't,
space right in general.
yeah,
Like
they,
almost everywhere, but I didn't see tourism, but I.
Okay.
they don't have.
Well, something to explore, I think.
Sorry, go ahead.
They don't have space tourism or hospitality here, but that will likely be something if tourism, like if this is an established industry.
Mhm.
The Roseland campus will likely get a whole program on it at some point soon. But yeah, we do actually have a whole program. Around space law, like you can. I don't know if you can major in it, but you can definitely minor in it. There are enough classes to satisfy a full minor for space law. Not tourism yet.
Mhm.
It's something to explore because I think that, you know, Orlando is very well suited to that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, we have the whole downtown Roseland campus dedicated to hospitality.
Yeah.
So they'll get.
So
We
these
can
are-
start here with virtual reality, you
Good luck.
know, like a training course, certificates, to prepare the tourist.
Okay, we went right into discussion, so let's give some opportunity for online people to ask questions. I think Mildred, you have a hand up.
Yes, so I actually have a question because I am a little bit, I'm not as up to date with this area of space travel. So one of the biggest concerns I see with the space tourism is the long-term physiological effects on humans. And I don't know if someone in the room has a little more information that they can provide to as to that, and how we have been able to mitigate that to perhaps allow long periods of time of travel into space.
There's a show on Amazon called The Expanse. I don't know if anybody's seen it. But it talks about like people who have been living their entire lives on like asteroid belts or like small like moons and stuff. And it like shows how much like somebody from Mars, how difficult it will be for somebody who's lived all their lives on Mars, how difficult it will be for them to be on Earth because of like literally like the gravity difference is just so crazy. Now on the moon will be like even worse, or like in actual like space will be even worse. That's why like astronauts have to work out all the time.
Okay,
Yeah, Mildred, you'd have to work out several hours a day.
yeah, so I have a speaker finalized for October 25th. Here in this seminar, we'll talk about physiological effect on the space.
Good,
Nice.
thank you.
Thank you.
But if you go just a week, you'll be fine, Mildred. It's if you go
My
like.
eyeballs are not turning into oval shaped eyeballs.
Right away, you might be nauseous a little bit, you know.
It's
I wonder
okay.
how
I
they're
can
gonna
lo-
deal with that, yeah.
I can lose a few pounds.
Okay.
I'm sure I can be fine.
But we want you to have a good experience. It's all about
Yes.
this. Yes.
Depends on your
Yes.
needs.
Yeah.
If you as a human, you know, really have that need, then you're going to love it and you're going to want to go back every year, as Flaviani loves to, you know, skydive, right? So, yeah.
A really cool topic. It's about how health works on space too, like the way like bleedings, for example, work, like about how wounds don't really like coagulate or anything like that, how medicine would be completely different.
Mhm.
I want to go back to your question, say the tourism, the Swiss tourism will help the research. I thought like all the, like a space travels, it's like a science driven, all those excursions are science driven, and then it's somehow protected by the international policies too.
Mhm.
And then, how does the international policy looks in terms of like 10 years? Like about the partnership, can the tourism be like, are they free to do their stuff and
So
then
far-
not care about the science team, or are they allowed to do no partnership?
They
I thought
are-
it's always protected by the international policy.
Yes, it
in
is.
Some sense, I guess.
Yeah, it's like the tourism company. They are regulated, you know, like the cruise ships, they have to follow rules, policies, and regulations. Airbnb does too, so they are regulated as well.
Hopefully more
Are-
regulated than the submarine people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they required to do, partnership?
I don't know. I don't have an answer for that, Stefan.
I mean, that's something we should not lose. If they're free to do not to partnership, and then it'll be more economic driven than science driven.
Well,
And that
for,
will be a
for
problem.
now, it's economical driven. It's nothing else. They just wanted to fulfill a need of just one human. Everything started because of budgetary need on a company. And me, I had 20 million and I wanted to be an astronaut. And they did it, right? Everything started as simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, at least up to now, I think even though there is a traveler, there's the science team, and there is at least one instrument there. I heard about the traveler who had like a sensor tied on her leg. At least there are some science partnership up to now, even though it's like a travel
Mhm.
for like one person or a group of person.
Yes.
But my
could switch.
wish is that at least some percentage should be protected as a science team,
Mhm.
any vehicle.
Yeah, but if
We
I
should,
have
we
my,
should, we should call the senator.
Good luck with that. Okay.
I
Yeah.
think it
Well-
will be just because it's still a financial avenue where, you know. If the cost of bringing tourism becomes cheaper than it is now. You know, at some point it balances out with the cost of sending research, so it's, you know.
It
people-
cannot improve by itself, just by.
Well, they're just gonna make more money, you know, flying people and research, you know, and if companies are driven by their bottom line, then they wouldn't just cut out an entire source of
Yeah, but
revenue.
you no longer have research on airplanes flying.
Yes.
Like, so it depends how far you're looking ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing is that the more that people get familiarized with the whole concept, is that the more people are gonna see the potential in it. So
Mhm.
it's just an exponential thing that just
Yeah.
requires a little bit of time.
It's just like we have diversity of travel opportunities, right? Like for a tourist. Like we have people that like watch birding, you know, watching birds or bird watching. Going to wetlands or just going to the mountains. So these hub of people, they just like to go to space. That's it.
And they're rich.
And they are rich. Any other questions, comments?
I recommend everybody watch a movie, if you're interested in this, The Orphans of Apollo. It tells the story about the Mir space station, which was the first space station, and then it was privatized in an attempt to save it. Like, to become a state.
Yeah.
The movie's really cool. It's older movie, but I personally like this one, like documentary, like space cowboys, like guys trying to take over the ocean.
Thank you, Luisa.
Yes, with the real people that live.
Mhm.
One of them was ended up in jail.
We have to watch this movie.
Yeah. So that's it for me. Thank you.
Maybe there's an
Thank
announcement, we are, few of us are taking Olga for dinner today. Julie suggested Armando restaurant in Winter Park. If anybody else interested in joining, please let me know as soon as possible. We'll be at 7 o'clock, we have to assemble there. Sorry? Today, yes, 7 o'clock. I'm sorry?
You said 7 o'clock and you said something else.
To let him know as soon as
Oh.
possible, because he's in charge of the
You're-
reservation.
You should call probably, yeah. But you should also know who's all coming so you can contact them if we have to change plans. Yeah. Thanks, Anish. Yeah, you signed up for this.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank
Olga.
Okay, thank you everyone for
Thank you.
joining.
Thank you.